If you have less than 100,000 sessions per month on your store and you're seeing those blue bars everywhere on Twitter and LinkedIn and you really want to start A/B testing and doing CRO on your website, but you're scared that you don't have enough traffic, I'm here to tell you that yes, you can still do CRO and A/B testing, but you have to be incredibly picky with what you choose to test. Most of the time, what works best is offers and copywriting. But in this video, I want to show you the reasoning behind actually running A/B tests for low traffic brands. So I'm going to take the brand Jimber as an example. It's a non-alcoholic Belgian beverage brand. I don't actually work with them, but I think their website will be a great example to illustrate what I want to show you in this video. I'm going to take this screenshot from another brand that I actually work with. They have a low traffic, as you can see, less than 50,000 sessions. And so the first thing that you want to do is look at the distribution of your traffic per device. So you will find this in your Shopify Analytics. Here you can see that 90% of this traffic is being sent to mobile, right? So obviously we will leave the desktop traffic aside and we'll focus exclusively on mobile. The next step that you want to do is look at where the traffic is landing on your website. Normally you know this because if you're running Meta ads, Google ads, Pinterest ads, whatever ads you're running, you know where you're sending it to, but the best is to look in your data so that it factors in your organic traffic. So let's say for this example that the brand is sending 10% of its traffic to the homepage, 10% to the product page, and 80% is being sent to the collection page. Then obviously you will focus on the collection page because that's where we're getting most of the traffic. Next, you've probably heard everyone in the CRO industry talk about the above the fold, and this is the reason why. If you look at a heat map software, whether you use Ojar, Microsoft Clarity, heatmap.com, and you activate the scroll map and you start to scroll down through the page that you choose, you'll quickly realize that you're losing a lot of traffic at every section on the page. And the only part of the page that's getting 100% of the attention is obviously the above the fold, the part where people haven't yet scrolled. And from there, sometimes you can see that after 2 or 3 sections, we've already lost 80% of the traffic. So obviously, this is the part where you want to focus on. This is the highest potential of impact zone because we have 100% of the traffic here. So we've got 72% of the total store traffic actually seeing this. That is 33,000 visitors for this example. Again, we had 90% of the traffic going to mobile, 80% of the traffic going to collection page, and in the above the fold section, we have 100% of the traffic seeing it. So this is what we're going to work on. Now the question is, how can we improve the page and that section to convert better? The conversion rate is basically the latest event that happens on your store in the customer journey. So if we focus instead of something that is way before in the journey, like add to cart rate or begin checkout or even product discovery rate, then we will have data a lot faster. And if you have less traffic, you will be able to reach statistical significance a lot faster than if you were focusing exclusively on conversion rate. So how can we improve the page and that section so that we can improve the product discovery rate? First, what I like to do is look at the ads because we want to make sure that there is congruency between what people are seeing when they're seeing the ads and what they're seeing when they're landing on the website. And what I'm seeing, whether I check Google Ads or Meta, is that the brand is really advertising the different new flavors. We've got energy, focus, immunity, and we even have the ingredients. And here I can see that they're advertising this one, immunity. And I feel like when we land on the page, okay, here we're seeing the different flavors, but the text is barely even readable. Like, no, it's not readable. And then we're only seeing the original drink. And to see the other variants, we really have to scroll down the page. But if you're coming from the ads and you don't know the brand, or maybe you know them, but you know what caught your attention is really this one, like the ginger, raspberry, and mountain tea and immunity, then you would want to see this when you land on the collection page, right? But here, as I said, we're only seeing the original. The thing is, people have very short attention span, so we want to provide them directly with what they want. So what you want to do here is list winning angles from your ad data, whether it's copywriting or visuals. So here, what I really want to focus on is the new variants. What you also want to check is qualitative data from post-purchase surveys. If you're not doing post-purchase surveys, make sure to create one and ask open-ended questions so that you collect the exact wording your customers use. You also want to check your reviews and your competitors' reviews, the comments on social medias, talk with your customer service and ask them what are people saying about the products, what questions they're asking. And then also you want to look at the comments under your ads. Then this is a comment that I made up, but this is just to give you an example. Let's say a client said, I love that it's made only with natural ingredients. You can really taste the difference. Unlike other non-alcoholic canned drinks, it doesn't leave me feeling bloated, refreshing, and with a nice ginger kicks, it's become my go-to. What we want to do here is identify words that customers are often saying about the brand, which is a hint of why people are buying. And here, for example, two things would be interesting. It's natural ingredients and doesn't leave me feeling bloated. I felt this one we can use it on the product page, doesn't leave me feeling bloated, but we could also on the collection page. So the first thing I would do here is add a top bar where we see the different USPs. So I'm going to put 100% natural ingredients, and you will tell me, yeah, but we are already seeing this there. And I agree, but the more you tell people about your USPs and your social proof, usually the better. That's what the best brands are doing. So I would definitely have this top bar, and you can even use here, doesn't leave you feeling bloated. Then I would have the visual that we have on the page here, but there I wouldn't add text on top of it so people can see the different variants. And so there is much between what they're seeing in the ads and what they're now seeing on the website. Then I would definitely keep the wording, the copywriting we have here, because I think it's good. But what I would change is instead of saying the original drink, and I would focus on what we're seeing in the ads the most, which maybe here is the immunity version. I would add the different ingredients in the drink, and I would add support and natural defenses, so we highlight the benefits of the product. So you see very tiny difference between this one to this one, but here we have more clarity because we can actually see the hero visual, and straight after we can see the different visuals, and we can scroll through as a carousel because people are used to doing this. And then you want to launch your split test on Intelligems with 50% of the traffic on this variant and 50% on this one. And again, what you want to track is your micro conversion event product discovery rate. And let's say after 2 or 3 weeks, we have a consistent trend. The view product rate is always higher. So here, plus almost 20% from 34% to 41%. This means that you only had 30% of your traffic actually seeing your product page. Now you have 41%. Again, that's 20% increase. Now I'll show you how this will impact all other metrics. So let's say that here we have 34 out of 14,000 sessions. That's going to be almost 5,000 sessions going to PDP. And here we've got 1,000 more sessions going to PDP. Now let's say that you have a lot more people going to the product page, and out of all those people, maybe you have less people actually interested. So maybe you will lower a little bit your add to cart rate because in percentage, maybe you will have slightly less people adding to cart. So let's say 12% instead of 13%. So here we've got 619 add to cart compared to 689. Now, let's say we've got a 60% reach checkout rate, which is pretty common for e-commerce brand, which gives us 371 compared to 413 checkout sessions. And then if the completed checkout rate is 50%, which is pretty average again for e-commerce brands, we will have 186 sessions converted in this variant and 206 sessions in the new versions. That is a almost 11% increase in conversions. From there, obviously what you want to do is analyze your test data, look at everything, look at the segments, see if there is any difference between new and returning visitors, see if there is any difference in, other segments you can see in Intelligems, and also look at all the metrics. And from there, iterate and try to find a variation that is working better than this. Maybe you could tweak the different variants you're showing on the page. Instead of immunity, you could show focus or another one. What I really want to show you in this video is the rezoning and show you that it is actually possible to run A/B tests for a brand that has not a huge traffic. If you like this video, please, that will really help, subscribe to the channel and put a thumbs up. I'm taking some time to prepare this, so I would really appreciate if you can do this, and see you in the next one. Cheers.